LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. An LDG desktop tuner works automatically with nearly any station up to 1,000 watts. LDG Zero Power tuners are ideal for portable or mobile use, as they consume almost no current and can be powered by internal batteries that last up to a year. LDG tuners are backed by our 2-year fully transferable warranty and our legendary customer service, the best in the industry. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
And show you right. Hello to you. Welcome to episode 316. This one's called Before the Snow Flies. We're going to be talking about projects you can work on, as I have done today, just a little bit. And we're going to get some community feedback. And, of course, we're going to be talking to my homie, Sidecar Steve is here today. And after every show, we kind of quick back because we've been having these crazy weeks. And, here we are, and we're in fall. So we decided maybe we need to talk about some of the things that people are doing or some things that they should be doing or thinking about. And that was an easy yes for you. You were like, yep, that sounds like what we need to do. How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's been just a stupid busy week at work, and but I'm glad it was over. A lot of late nights, and but it's fall time. It's the end of the year, and that's what happens. So it's a good time to start thinking about your fall projects, radio wise, as far as mainly it's antennas and and feed lines and everything associated with it. So getting ready for old man winter.
That's for sure. And we're live streaming this podcast episode. We do that on Sundays. So if you're listening to this back, you can come and join us on Sundays if you're free and watch it. I one time said you can watch how we make the sausage, but nobody wants to see how you make the sausage. So you can actually see how the show is at least captured. And we do the video, and it's live streamed to our YouTube channel. So welcome to that. Stay tuned after the show. Steve and I will take calls on the post-show air check. What is that, Sea Child? It is when we wrap this show, and then just on YouTube, we'll take some calls because... What, Steve? This is the show that is dedicating to what now? That's right.
Doing ham radio.
That's right. We do. I threw him a curveball. He doesn't like me to prep him out. We don't script anything here. So we do ham radio after the show. Yeah. Welcome to anybody who is new and has stopped by. It's good to see you guys. We have Pastor Joe is in the chat room. He's actually going to be running a portion of the net. We also have a live net. As we do radio and talk about radio, we're doing it in the form of our net tonight. It's an interesting dynamic tonight. If we can I'll show you folks. Uncle Paul. Uncle Paul is working. I thought he looked like he was at the vaccination center giving out some vaccination shots today. And I was like, good for you, buddy. Good for you. And he's actually...
We should call him Booster Man.
He's Booster Paul. Tonight he's now... Uncle Booster Paul. So he's giving out, no, he's not giving out boosters at all. But he's actually out camping, and he's in this beautiful rig that he pulls behind, and he's doing a net tonight for us with 100 watts and a wire. Pastor Joe is also doing a net tonight. I'm not sure where Pastor Joe landed. I think he was in the AM portion of 80 meters, which he did slide up a bit, thank goodness. He says he's in 3906, so if you're playing along at home, listen for Uncle Booster. Uncle Booster's at 7219. Pastor Joe is looking like he's at 3906, and I believe Don is working tonight. I want to bring down this audio just a touch because it came to my attention today, just in fact, that when I have, oh no, what happened to old Steve? We lost Steve-O. Something went off. There he comes. He's coming back. So it is a live show whenever a guest just disappears. I just disappeared on there.
The internet QSB.
That's right. Took a hard fade there. You're 5'5" coming in tonight. So we've got the post show and post show air check. So all you need to do, if you're interested, you can open up another browser if you'd like. You can watch this show, and you'll be ready to hit that live stream when we go live. Interesting week here around the way. We're coming up on Fallout, and I did a little bit of tree work today. Got a roll. They bite back sometimes when you're.
Oh yeah.
We're at that temperature where it's hot enough. You know, it's been raining all weekend, so the sun will come out, gets a little humid. Before the rain comes, it's nice and cool. I'm out there working on a cedar tree that was sort of hanging like this. It was still, you know, I was like, I can almost push this one over, but nope. Worked on that a little bit and split some wood with an axe today. You know, this country life we live, got to get ready for.
Old school, nice.
It's old school. I have a splitter, but I think it needs a new spark plug. And I've been running around so much this September. Man, it was nuts. I'm so happy to see October, Steve. August and September have been kicking me in the dupa big time. It's just like, whew, when do I sleep? When am I supposed to sleep? But anyway, not complaining. But got ready a little bit for the Fallout. And that's kind of the beginning of my fall preparation. I want to let Steve talk a little bit here because there's many projects that we want to do. But there's probably a handful of projects that we sort of need to do. What's on your
should do those?
Yeah, what's on your short list?
Well, for me, it's tower maintenance and everything associated with that. Checking, you know, tension on the guy lines. You know, giving the tower a good check over, making sure all the feed lines that are going and the rotor cable, all cables going up the tower are secured, and make sure all the connections are weatherproofing are done. Checking tension on the bolts, like for the rotor plate, and on the U-bolts for the boom to mast. You know, just general things. Get it ready for old man winter, and we've been there, done that. Don't want to do repairs during the winter time, especially when you got a couple feet of snow on the ground. It's as you say, it's a pain in the dupa.
Yeah.
So been there, done that.
I always find myself looking at my tape situation. There becomes time where I want to go out. I've either got to change a connection or whatever, and underneath my switcher, I'll surprise myself sometimes, because sometimes in the middle of summer, if you have to do a little bit of work out there, the bugs are so bad, you kind of, maybe you don't, I don't know, but I think I surprise myself come fall that I did. And I'll lay down underneath this switcher. It's probably 18 inches above, you know, and it's mounted on a pipe. High enough that if I get 18 inches of snow, I'm still okay. You know, I put it up high enough for that reason. But I find out that either a tape job came off or loose. I always seem to need to go back and deal with my tape. And and I'm like, man.
That's one thing. Or you didn't put any tape because you were making changes and troubleshooting something, or making antenna changes in the summer, and you just kind of go, oh, I'll get back to that.
Right.
And you never got back to it. So this is a good time to kind of go through your system. If you have, you know, ropes and trees, it's like a lot of us, trees are a major support for structure for us. We've used it for years. I've used them for years, and everybody else. And I've thrown ropes over a branch, and it's been up there for years. And it's like, you know, maybe it might be time to pull the antenna down, check your support ropes if it goes over a branch, and or even if it doesn't go over a branch, if it goes through pulleys and things like that, check your ropes, because UV is a great enemy towards these synthetic ropes and things like that. So might be a good time to maybe this year change your ropes out. And it's cheap insurance, and like I said, you don't want to be doing this in the middle of winter. So go around your station, your antennas, check your coaxes, your connections, your waterproofing. And it's a good time to just when things start to cool down and you got time, this is the best time to do that.
Speaking of ropes, I don't know what it is, but it seems like sometimes I have 160 and an 80 meter up in an oak tree, but it's not one of the older oaks. I mean, the branches I'm over, the one I put your antenna over, my main six are under or over limbs that are really, they don't sway. This is an oak tree that at 50, 60 feet, it's like I've been here 200 years. I don't sway. You know, maybe the tip's out on the ends, but I'm not out that far. But I've got one for 160 and 80, and it sways, man. And I went out there and I look, and we know my issues with 160 over the years. I still love it. I went out there and looked at it, and it looks like it had dropped down. I don't know how this happens, but, you know, I like to keep a little space. I'm making for our listening audience. I like to keep maybe a foot, so when that sway moves, it can kind of move with the tree, and I'm not like flipping up over it. So I give myself a little room, and I looked at it, and I'm like, it looks a little, like it dropped a little bit. I don't know how that would happen, but maybe with the movement, or the tree did something weird. I don't know, but it almost seems like it's taken my knot and just slipped it just a little bit. I don't know
It's
how
possible.
I mean, I don't know how.
You got the wire stretch, you got rope stretch.
Maybe rope stretch, yeah. Just it
or
gets
a combination of both.
It gets hit.
So,
And to your point about the ropes, I was like, I'm going to pull this back up because it looks like it's dropped down some. It just doesn't look like it's as high as it should be. But I do give it a little more play because it's on a swaying deal, you know. Anyway, and
might be a good idea to just pull it down, you know, pull the whole rope down. And when you get to the end of the rope, tie another rope to it. And then you can just pull it up and over the branch. And
I undid the knot, Steve, and I could have let go. It has grown where it has pinched it enough to hold it. To your point, because this tree's still growing, and
oh yeah.
So I'm like, and I'm like, it like it's pinched, and I ended up having to work it free. I didn't do what you've just suggested. I didn't take it all the way down, but I did move it. I did exercise it away from, but that's a real thing, especially for trees that are not quite done, you know, that kind of deal. Or, you know, they grow out on the tips more. So that's a real thing. Exercising the ropes, checking my tape. Now you can get into your connectors some. There's some folks out there, maybe you. And by you, I mean anybody listening or anybody watching this, where you get in there and you actually, they sell kits that you can clean in your coax. Now, this is something I haven't really, you know, get your connector and get in there with a Q-tip and get in there, lick it all up and seal it back up or whatever you do. And I'm like, my tape job. All right, you're looking at the man who taught me how to tape. 3 things. It goes from, I think, bottom up, back down, back up. I got so much.
That's your final. That's you forgot the other preparation. The other stuff. That's just your final 3 layers.
That's the final.
Start from the bottom, go up, go back down, and then end at the top.
So I always look at it like, wow, getting in there with a Q-tip and cleaning out my connectors is a little more time than I think I'm willing to do. Not that it's wrong. It's right. I mean, if you've got the time, technically, that's probably a good move. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I've got 8 antennas up there, and I don't know. I've got, you know, coax. I got connectors on each side, the tape job. I just don't know if I want to get in there and do this cleaning. I don't know if it's another marketing tool. What do you do?
I've never, ever had to clean a connector after it's been sealed up, and every time unless water got into it through the antenna or some way, but I've never had to do that. And the 45 years that I've been doing this, it's I'm not saying it's not possible, and even in my professional side of things, it's never really had to deal with that. But I mean, I know guys that will put some kind of dielectric grease inside their connectors just to kind of keep if they'll fill up the voids in the connector to keep water out of it. That's one way, but my attitude is just seal it up good and keep the water from getting in, and you should be good to go. If you do have water that gets in, and you have a good seal job, then you got a problem with the antenna, and you're going to be replacing that anyway. So, or
Yeah.
balun or whatever it is.
There are
And
times where I don't work in the rain. Of course, I think that's a bad idea. If you got things disconnected and or I put a baggie on top of my and I seal it up. I keep plastic around the ends if I'm going away from it. But sometimes your coax does hit the dirt. As you're playing around or doing whatever you do, and mine will just go bloop and hit. So I mean, I make sure it's clean before.
Yeah,
I'm not taking out Q-tips, but I certainly look at it to make sure I'm not splattering up, getting weird stuff in there. But
now, if you had like an end connector or something like that, and it dropped into some mud, then yeah, maybe you're gonna have to get a Q-tip in there, and but to disassemble a connector and go in there and clean it out, it's like no.
No.
If you have to do that, you got some other problems that you need to solve first.
Or maybe you could just super clean, or maybe you've got the time. I don't know if that's what you want to do. If it's your only antenna or whatever, and you've got the time to do that, I mean, hey, we're not, But I know they do sell a kit where you can. It's a coax cleaning kit. At least they used to.
Check.
I never bought it. Out. I'm gonna need my money. I left ICOM. I'm gonna need every penny. Every penny. We're cutting back. We're scaling back everything. We're going to be doing this on Zoom before you know it. Just kidding.
There you go.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to Zoom. I don't want to do Zoom.
No, we're not going to be on Zoom. Nope.
Let me say hello to some of our friends who are watching and, of course, watching and listening. Those are two different words. Hello to John, Victor Echo 5, Juliet Hotel, November. You, sir.
5-9.
W1UED DJ. He says this is his favorite night because he gets to talk to you and Uncle Booster Paul. Didn't mention me.
Wow.
Thanks, DJ. I appreciate that. But hey, anyway, Don is here. He's working on 14261. If you'd like to make a contact with him, I believe he's still on 20 meters. Let's see. We got Pastor Joe. We got November 3 Papa Kilo Juliet, who is listening and watching. You, sir.
5-9.
5-9. Wes, I don't think he's over the road traveling tonight, but hello to Wes. I know his call sign.
Yes, he is.
Is he on the road?
WE5 MAG. Oh, yeah.
All right.
He's on his way to picking up a load, and we were texting this morning. So,
gotcha. Good deal.
And he's on his way to Othello, Washington. So, about an hour or so to the east from here.
Okay, good deal. Glenn, November 2, United Zulu Kilo, listening and watching this evening. Hello to you, sir. You are 5-9. Great Lakes is here tonight. Rob, Kilo 8, India Bravo X-Ray. Good evening to you, sir. You're coming in strong from the Great Lakes. Your signal report.
10 over 5-9.
10 over 5. 9. Who else? Ricardo. Right. Hello to Ricardo. He's in the great state of Florida right now where they have a manhunt underway. I've been, I wish this guy would run across my field. I just wish he would.
Really?
I'm a dad. I'm a girl dad. And I just wish I could give him a couple tombstone pal drivers myself or just bust a cap in his ass. See, I'm getting excited. Is that him? Yep. Pow. Ouch. Why'd you do that? Sorry, I'm tired of this kid being on the run anyway, but sorry. But anyway, hope you find him, Ricardo. Let's see. Christopher is here also. Kilo 1, Whiskey Juliet Yankee. You, sir.
5-9.
Scotty. See, people come around and like to watch us make the sausage. That's how they said it back, my friends in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Sausage. The ones in sanitation. Kilo Charlie 3, Bravo X-Ray, November. You, sir. His signal report.
Oh, he's 5'9". No, well, I got it backwards.
This is where we need to practice. We need to practice.
Well, oh
he's
no!
like a 4x4.
I was reading. I got Wes wrong. He's going to Iowa. He left Othello.
Okay.
So
we're going to be checking into your what you're working on in just a moment. So stand by for that. Who did I miss?
Roger
also.
from Spokane. Yep. Hi, Roger, and thanks for being here tonight.
Kilo Juliet 7 Lima Lima X-ray, sir. You are
5'9".
See, we're getting there. We're getting better. It's getting better. It's still rough. Everybody's a 5'9" here on the
And
show.
then we got John, W1JGM. He hears Joe on 3909 Strong in Connecticut. So, and John, you're 5'9".
You're 5'9". Guess what? We have, and Roger, did we talk to Roger? Yeah, we did. Lima Lima X-ray. Okay. We've got the Fallout next weekend. Because it was so busy, this is going to have to be a word of mouth. This is our community will have to propagate itself, and we normally do. We do get some help from Amateur Radio Newsline. Our friend Neil with Ham Talk Live will mention the Fallout. I haven't been around to make enough to make the rounds to talk about this, so we have to propagate this ourselves. Fallout's coming up next weekend, 7 o'clock Central Time on Thursday is technically Friday, as that goes, and you can start the Fallout. We'll talk about what we want to do in terms of antennas and what we plan to do, but share that message, and we'll go and we'll look at the website here real quick. Let me make sure I got the right
speaking
thing.
about Fallout, so
Yes.
one of the things I have is I keep, just a spiral bound notepad here with just chicken scratchings on it, and I was going through some pages, and I found my handwritten log from the Fallout from 2019. So
Wow.
yeah, I should have left the page out, and but it's it might be in the other book. We'll find it.
I wish I had the contact. Actually, it's somewhere in the stream. I need to go back and pull it. I need to go back and pull this this thing from the stream, because now I've taken an excerpt from the show, and it's called "The Story of Uncle Paul's Nuts," and it's an interesting tale. You guys should tell me if I should release this, because I've got the angel on one shoulder and the devil and two devils on my bald head and on the other shoulder, and they're like, you got to release it. Put that story on YouTube. And it's story of Uncle Paul's Nuts, and it sounds like a great convenience store, but really it comes from the spring tune-up where Steve and I were working 100 watts, and he was incidentally working. Let's get him up here because he does he charges me money for his work. There he is. Well, he's working 100 watts tonight, but when he's at home, he drops both of them right across. That's how I got this mark across my head right here. It wasn't a cedar tree today. It was Uncle Paul's Nuts. The story of Uncle Paul's Nuts. Should it go to the YouTube channel? You tell me. You go vote. But it's a fun story.
It's a fun story. It was it was just
Hysterical.
hilarious.
It was Uncle Paul's fortitude. Yes. When we were running 100 watts, he was not. And we were chasing Fallout stations around. I was in the shed. Steve was out in his garage. And holy
Actually, I was
moly.
outside. I set up outside a table, the radio, and the laptop. We were streaming the whole thing, and it was just hilarious. And we were going back and forth, and lo and behold, here came the nuts.
We could hear each other. We were dialing around, and I was live streaming it from out there. It was pretty crude. I mean, it looked like, we were outdoors and the sun went down and I was in the dark, and I had my little lantern. It'll be fun this weekend. We'll have a lot of fun again this weekend. I plan to do it. But we would chase tune-up stations just like the Fallout will be. If we hear them, Steve and I would go pounce on them, and it was a little, it wasn't competition, but we were trying to both work the station to see who he would pick up.
We were trying to get 5 points. So, if you remember, during Fallouts and spring tune-ups, we're worth 5 points. So if you work us, you get 5 points, which is, and if you work both of us, that's 10 points right there.
That's right
so
there.
that puts you almost halfway to qualifying for all the prizes just by working 2 stations. Us.
Yeah, and we're there together, so it's easy, and we want to work you. We want to give you the points. So anyway, we're chasing a station down. We both get there, and people are writing in the chat of the live stream, such and such is on whatever frequency, 40 meters. So we go there and we both go and we both start calling and we're live just like we are now. And we're calling and we don't get in. We're calling and we don't get in. Don't get in, don't get in. Next thing you know, N2HYG is like this. November 2, Hotel Yankee Golf. I mean, it was like 1,200 whiskeys. And so the story of Uncle Paul's Nuts really is that story of how he uses his fortitude to push his way and bully us. I felt like he just pushed me out. Picture me flying out of this chair, like onto the floor. It's like, and then he takes off. Like, he's like, takes the prom queen and runs away. You're like,
we're
hey,
just left like,
what just happened here? I mean, everything left. Like the station was like, wow, I just worked here. That's cool.
they all just poof.
QRT,
Like,
and we're sitting there holding the scent of Uncle Paul's Nuts. So there you go. Anyway, I should put that up. It's a fun story. It's a fun story. But let's talk about Fallout real quick, and we're going to move over to your responses. But this weekend, starting Thursday, 7 o'clock Central, it tells you on the website, 100wattsandawire.com. Click Operating Events. This Thursday, 7 o'clock. It is technically Friday, so you can begin any band, any mode, any time. It is not a contest. That's important that you understand that. But Sidecar Steve really wanted people to get some skin in the game, and Uncle Paul took it a little too far. Sunday night. You want skin in the game,
some
boys?
skin in that one.
Anyway, we wanted some skin in the game.
Paul's
So.
Soup to Nuts, an American restaurant. Nice.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. Hello to Dwayne and all our friends that are listening who enjoy flying and taking it with you, your bikes and going out on the treadmills. I know how you guys listen, but I definitely appreciate you listening, and I appreciate everybody who stops by on Sundays as we record the podcast. Getting back to the point system, very simple, and it is just to get some skin in the game. So you work 25 contact points. You can get this in no time. General contact, that's somebody who has no idea what you're talking about, just wants to work you, and you can say we're doing a Fallout, it's an activity. It's an operating event. We like to get on the air twice a year. It kind of symbolizes the closing of this sort of let's get out there and get portable. Unless you're hardcore, and then it's fine. But as a community, it's sort of the last thing of the year. You asked, is there a 100 watts and a wire ID? Do you have one? We have a whole list here on the gathering. There's over 4,000 of them out there. It's worth asking because you'll get 2 points if they say yeah. Now, bonus stations, and we have a few now listed here. I'm going to see if Pastor Joe will be playing. He's actually been a winner in the past. But you can see the stations there. We've got Don, who works with me on Hour 73, which incidentally also has its new YouTube channel. I was beating my head back and forth over where to put Hour 73. It has ties to ham radio, but not all hams are into preparedness. So anyway, I got busy. Next thing you know, this weekend, I built its own home. But Don will be there. Nice. We all love Don. Whiskey 3 Delta Victor Golf. Sidecar Steve, W7UDI. Paul, Big Ones, Booster Shot, Uncle Paul's Nuts is November. It's Nuts to hang your grill. I don't know. And we're going to figure a good phonetic for him. Oh, Pastor Joe's here. I'm going to have to light a candle. November 2, Hotel Yankee Golf.
To do.
Yeah, I'm in trouble, man. It's not enough to have a pastor on the team. It's just not enough. They'll be like, And myself, K0STH. You hear any of those stations working this weekend, 5 points right off the bat. Get to 25 and qualify for some of the prizes. MFJ is giving an antenna. This is something that you could do. It's a mobile. They're calling it a mobile antenna. You could probably set it up any way you want. They're going to give you the mount. Look into that. See what you think. It's the 1699T, 80 through 2 meter mobile. I just want to see it. Nice. I just want to see it, man. I'm like that. PowerFilm Solar, they're going to go through the 20 or the 30 watt solar panel. The details for that are coming. They said they're going to hook us up. I believe them. They're with us all the time. Nuts and Bolts Magazine, Uncle Paul's favorite magazine. 1 year subscription to that. ABR Industries, we talked about coax, keeping coax clean. You want to know where good coax can be found? Look at ABR Industries. They give away prizes. They're not a sponsor, but they sponsor this event in terms of giving away 50 feet of coax, your choice of connectors. So it's PL259, BNC, and the N-type. They're going to put in some ferrites, and they'll personalize the label for you, so you get your own call sign written on your coax. I mean, that's cool. There's no mistakes on field day when that old cranky SOB has got a handful of wires, and you're like, that one's mine. It really is yours because your name's on it. LDG is going to give away that 49-1 Unnen, which is an interesting deal. Now, if you live in a quiet area, this might be good. Now, 49-1 Unnen, I've done some research. In terms of loud environments, may be a little dicey. With respect, of course, to our friends at LDG. But if you're out in the country, maybe, or you're out in the park, 49-1 Unnen, we can talk about things you can do with those.
Oh, yeah, your end-fed wire.
CQ Magazine, going to do a digital subscription this time. Bioenno Power, of course, is back. They are a sponsor, and they've been with us for a good long time now. The 9 amp-hour battery and the charger for that. NI4L, Chris makes great antennas. He's in North Carolina. They're strong, thoughtful. He's going to be doing the ZS6 BKW. That's an optimized G5 RV. I'd like to just touch it. I'd like to hold it. And so that's our prizes. And once it's over, give you about a week's time to submit your totals right here on the website. Go to 100wattsandawire.com and check it out. You'll be able to find everything easy enough. It's pretty straightforward. The prizes are given out here in the United States because I don't want to send a $30 antenna and have the company have to pay another $35 to ship it overseas. So we're keeping it domestic. There you go. So good list of prizes there. I think it'll be fun. We have a good time. We mix up the streaming with the getting portable. We try to encourage you to get out if you can. If you can't, no problem. Do it from the comfort of your own home. And as we get closer to like Sunday net time, Steve and I go inside anyway. We have to break it down in the afternoon. And then we might use, some power, make some more contacts on the inside.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe, I'll run, so today I put up the OCF that, we talked about earlier. And so that's up, ready to go. It's strung between the towers. And cables already ran into the shop. And we'll go use good old 1000 right behind me as my portable radio. And
that thing has a power supply in it, doesn't it? That's sexy.
Yes,
man.
that's why I like it.
Power supply in it.
And then we'll set that up and just go from there. And then I was thinking possibly maybe Saturday night we'll come into the station here and we'll just go to town and just make contacts and kick the power up and use the big antennas and go from there and then finish it off back on the portable setup on Sunday. So if you don't hear me with the portable setup, hopefully once I get onto the main station, you'll hear me.
Yeah,
and we'll get a chance to work.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do 100 watts out there. But again, you can do it in your house. Do it any power, any band, any mode, any time. Okay, so just have a good time. I think it's like a really just a good excuse.
Just an excuse to get on the air and
to set out aside on your calendar that weekend and be like, I'm going to operate, and you got enough time to plan. It works for me to schedule it in. All right, let's take
your favorite adult beverage while you're at it, but not too much.
Not too much. Yeah, don't slur your words. Just enough. Just enough. Let's check in with Uncle Paul. I think he's still making some contacts. There he is. I don't know if he's still on. I'll turn
on. Yeah, microphone's up to his face, so he's going to town.
Let's listen in for our friends at home listening to the podcast and the the community that listens to us that are disabled, visually impaired people listen.
Any check-ins for 100 watts and a wire Sunday net. Come in now. Well, there's a tuner-upper. Come on. There's hope. There's hope. This is N2HYD. My name is Paul Papa Alpha Union Lima, and I'm located in Ocean View, New Jersey. It's down by Cape May, Cape May County. We're looking for check-ins for the 100 watts in a wire Sunday net. And again, I'm just running portable, running about 100 watts into a Hustler vertical, the mobile type vertical, not the ground mounted vertical. But yeah, any further check-ins for 100 watts in a wire Sunday net and 2HYD.
Well, if you're near a radio, he's working 100 watts. I can hear him okay here.
Nice.
Or you can spot him if you like.
Alrighty. 12 seconds this evening, gentlemen. That's okay. We've got two. We're still on the air. There's 80 meters running. There's 20 meters running. So 40 meters is a little slow tonight for whatever reason. All recalls for 100 watts that I'm running. But anyway, it's still a lot of fun. I'm looking at two faces.
I'm listening.
Alrighty, this is the Lever 2 Hotel Yankee Golf looking for check-ins for 100 watts and a wire Sunday net. I hear cricket.
Yeah, so he's working hard out there. He's camping, 100 watts.
Making sure that we do run every single weekend. And again, let's try this again. This is the Lever 2 Hotel Yankee Golf. You are good for 100 watts in a wire Sunday net. November 5, Papa, November Zulu. I think there's a Kilo Echo 5 in there. Let's try again. Is there a Kilo Echo 5 question mark?
Oh man, he didn't come back.
Nothing heard. If you're in there,
This is really a precursor to the fallout because, you know, see what happens with 100 watts.
My name is Paul Papa Alpha Union Lima, located in Ocean View, New Jersey for right now. I'll be here down here for about a week. Don't forget, if you can hear me, don't forget next weekend is the fallout weekend, and we'll be on somewhere. I don't know whether it's going to be from the campground.
I'm going to turn this down because
from the home,
we've got some other stuff to cover tonight here. I want to... Oh, there he is. All right, I'm going to turn them down here. And I asked our community to let us know what they're working on, the ham projects that they're working on, or they want to get done before the snow flies. And now... Sidecar Steve, Uncle Steve has told us things that we definitely should think about as we head in and before the old man winter comes. Now, these are some different responses of people who are working on different sorts of projects. Ricardo, being a smart aleck, he said, for a quick laugh, I don't have a snow problem in Florida. During the winter, we have a great day, everyone. And James Lee chimed in and said,
Rub it in.
Winter is scheduled for Thursday this year. It's on a Thursday.
It's on a Thursday.
Jeff said he's got some antenna hardware and feed lines he wants to work on. It sounds like a good plan.
That's a good one.
Larry Carter says I need to fix my end-fed half wave. The limit was hanging on, broke this summer, but it's still hanging, only lower. Want to get it back up to 40 feet. Joel, he wants to do a 2-meter Yagi. Wants to do a 2-meter Yagi. Wayne, I have an end-fed half wave to get up.
Good time to get it up.
Definitely a good time. Old Jeff says, I need to clean out my MFJ mag loop and reconnect my Stealth vertical, both of which brought down in order to put down new sod in the yard. He bought the MFJ 10-meter Moxon that he needs to put up in a stealth location. Okay, good luck with that. Jerry, his 2-meter Ringo I'm not sure what that is. It's been
It is it's a Ringo Ranger. It's a who made that? Was it Cushcraft? No. God, I can't remember who made it, but the 2-meter Ringo Ranger. It's it's a half wave, and then it has like a ring on the bottom. So they called it the Ringo, and your coax connected to this ring that went around the bottom.
Oh.
It's been antenna's been around for a long time, and very popular back in the 70s. I remember it in the early days in the 80s, and you still see it out there. I think it's still manufactured. I think we can still get it, but for some reason I'm thinking Cushcraft made it, but I got to look into that. But
he says it's been on the ground since March, so he wants to get back to doing nets and get it back up in the sky where it belongs.
Doesn't do any good on the ground.
Another NFED project from Mikey. He wants to try that out and get it out and do some portable 160-meter RX antenna. Phil
Beverage
needs to be redeployed along the winter, along with the winter antenna radials. Okay, so he's doing that.
Had my grandson here this weekend, and so Dean and myself were out walking the property. I was kind of wearing him out a little bit, and was kind of scoping things out. I was like, you know what? I need to start thinking about rolling out a beverage and see how well it'll work. So, it's basically a 500-600 foot length of wire, about 5 or 6 feet off the ground in a nutshell, and you hook up some 75 ohm coax, so your standard RG6 that you use for cable TV, and run it into your shack and hook it up to the receive port of your radio if it's capable. And it's a great antenna, really low noise to pick up stations on 160. So a lot of the big guns, you do that in the wintertime.
Speaking of 160, Uncle Paul, Booster Paul, these nuts. Once I get my honeydews over, I'll be putting up my 160 helical vertical vertical back after repairs. Kenny says he's going to get some a ladder line fed 160 meter dipole.
Nice.
160, man, it is the winter band. I mean, you can have it up all year like I do, but people really do. They'll switch out some things. David's going to do some work in the shack. He's going to insulate the shack. That sounds like a good idea.
Good job. Yep.
Guy's trying to go ahead and put a small tower up at the townhouse from the association. It's also looking good. Still have to get the okay for several other owners. Good luck with that, Guy. Just a couple more scrolling through here. Let's see. Somebody's working on something from the inside with the transmitter kit. Somebody's building. Some feed line work. Okay, replacing a busted shock cord on the alpha antenna. Hex beam. Sam says hex beam and replace the coax connector on the dipole. Brent,
nice.
He moved, so he's setting up his new station. That's on his agenda. That sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, starting from scratch.
A brand new start, man. That's good. Let's see. Kenny and Doug, they're all there. They're going to get their dipoles up for 80 and 20 meters, 40 meters, double bazooka. We got to talk about that antenna soon. All right, very good. Well, thank you all for participating. I like to throw a question out to you guys and get the community engaged. Tell us what you're doing. We'll tell you what we're doing. That's sort of a documentary style that 100 watts in a wire is, sort of following along life. It is the intersection of life and amateur radio. But I think we've been talking about it long enough. It's time for Steve and I to find a spot somewhere, probably on 40 meters. And if you are watching tonight on YouTube or whenever, or listening, this one goes directly to the podcast, but something special. We're going to get on the air now, and we'll stream it out to YouTube. So go and check that out. If you get a chance and you're curious, maybe we'll find a spot or take over Uncle Booster Paul's spot. I don't know, but give us a few minutes. We'll start things up. We'll find a spot, and we'll take some calls tonight. We look forward to hearing you. We're going to run some power. So hopefully you'll hear us. What did we miss? Did we miss anything? We got the fallout. We talked to the community. We heard what they're up to. What else? Talked about the nuts.
The nuts, yep.
The nuts are in
Not the
there.
sweaty balls, but the nuts.
If only it was as cool as that, but it is a fun story.
Good deal. And I'll say who else? Kevin. Yes. I haven't got the 160 up. That was my initial plan. Yesterday was okay. I'm going to build. This was my game plan for today. Was to build a 160 double bazooka. I started off with that this morning. Got on Discord and got sidetracked. Went to the OCF. And speaking about Discord, come and join us in the Discord group, and you can kind of see what we do in between shows, and some of the little antics that go back and forth, and how I overthink some of the things.
It's a small community. I like it, but I think Zuckerberg is going to snap one of these days, and all the things on Facebook, we may just need a place to be. So try something different. If you're watching tonight, you can find it in the chat right now. We'll share that with you later in the next stream as well. And if you're listening to this, as most people do, you can find that on the website. You can find it at the YouTube channel. It's in the description below. It's easy. We just try to have a good time, and it's another place to be. It's a different place to be, and it's small, private, friendly. Everybody's welcome there. Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. We fooled him again. We've done it again. We're getting ready to shut this one down. Episode 316. Imagine that, as we head into fall. Steve and I will be taking your calls because we do ham radio. We are going to do ham radio. We talked about it. Now we're going to do it. I'll say 73 to everybody. If you've got this open now, just open another browser. Get ready to click the other live stream if you want to. Come on over. And let's get on the radio. We'll put out a little bit of power, and hopefully you'll hear us tonight, and we'll catch a frequency and all that stuff. To our podcast listeners, we love you, appreciate you all the time, and look forward to catching you again next week. Take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise. 7-3, guys.
7-3, everyone.
To join the 100 Watts in a Wire community, visit 100wattsinawire.com.